Some people walk into a room and instantly feel attractive, even without model good looks. Have you ever noticed that, Alex?
Oh, 100%. It's like they have this invisible spotlight on them. I was at a friend's party a few weeks ago, and this guy walked in. He wasn't the tallest or most handsome person there, not by a long shot. But within 10 minutes, he had this small circle of people around him, all laughing and totally captivated.
Right, and it's not loud or arrogant. It's something else, a warmth, maybe, an ease?
Yeah, ease is a good word for it. He just seemed so comfortable in his own skin, and it made everyone else feel comfortable too. It's like a secret superpower. I remember thinking, what is it? How does he do that?
Well, that's the thing. It's not a superpower you're born with. Attractiveness, real social attractiveness, is not about your face or your clothes. It's about what people feel when they are around you. It's an energy. And the best part, that energy is something anyone can learn to create.
Okay, now you have my full attention. You're saying I can learn this social magic? Please say yes.
Yes, Alex, it's not magic, it's psychology. And it's exactly what we're talking about today. Hi, Sunnies, and welcome to Sunny English Bite. I'm Sunny.
And I'm Alex. It's so good to have you with us.
Today, we are diving deep into a fascinating topic, how to become more attractive. And let's be very clear, we are not talking about physical beauty. Also, we are talking about emotional and social magnetism, the small habits that make people feel good, feel seen, and want to be around you.
Exactly. This isn't a personality makeover show. We're not asking you to change who you are. This is about adding a few simple, powerful tools to your social toolbox. These are small tweaks that can make a huge difference in your daily interactions, whether at work, with friends, or even on a date.
Small tweaks, big results. I love that. And for all our amazing listeners, please remember you don't need perfect English to follow along. The goal here is to listen, absorb, and enjoy the conversation. We are just two friends having a chat, and we're so happy you've decided to join us.
Absolutely. Just relax and let the English flow. So, Sunny, where do we start? What's the first step to becoming a social magnet?
We start before we even open our mouths. We start with the silent signals our bodies are sending all the time. This is our first chapter, the nonverbal hacks.
My favorite topic. Let's talk about the number one attraction killer, closed body language. You see it everywhere. People standing with their arms crossed, shoulders hunched, looking down at their phones.
It's a shield. It screams, stay away, or I'm not comfortable.
Totally. The simplest fix for this is something I call the torso rule. It's so easy. No matter where you are, you consciously point your torso, your chest and stomach, towards the person you want to connect with. It sounds almost silly, but it sends a powerful subconscious signal that says, I'm open to you. I'm paying attention.
It's not silly at all. There's fascinating science behind this. The torso rule is a practical application of research by social psychologists like Amy Cuddy at Harvard. She studied what she calls power posing.
Power posing. Okay, tell me more.
Her research found that adopting open, expansive postures, like standing with your hands on your hips or leaning back with your arms open, doesn't just change how other people see you, it literally changes your own body chemistry.
No way. How?
After just 2 minutes of holding an open posture, participants' testosterone levels, the confidence hormone, went up, and their cortisol levels, the stress hormone, went down. So when you use the torso rule, you're not just signaling openness to others, you're literally making yourself feel more confident and less stressed in the moment. Your body changes your mind.
Wow, so it's a feedback loop. Fake it till you become it.
That's the phrase Amy Cuddy uses, exactly. Okay, so your posture is open. The next nonverbal signal is the smile, but it has to be a real one. We can all spot a fake smile a mile away.
The worst. I went on a date where the person had this frozen customer service smile the entire time. It never reached their eyes. It felt like they were trying to sell me something. It was incredibly off-putting.
That's the perfect description. What you're talking about is the difference between a standard smile and what psychologists call a Duchenne smile. It's named after the 19th century scientist who first identified it. The famous psychologist Paul Ekman did a lot of work on this.
Okay, Dr. Sunny, break it down for us. What is a Duchenne smile?
A fake smile or a social smile only uses the muscles around your mouth. But a Duchenne smile, a genuine, authentic smile of joy, uses both the muscles around your mouth and the muscles around your eyes. It's the orbicularis oculi muscle, to be precise. It's what creates those little crinkles at the corners of your eyes, sometimes called crow's feet.
The eye crinkle. That's the signal.
That's the signal, and our brains are exquisitely wired to detect it. A real Duchenne smile is incredibly difficult to fake on command. It communicates genuine warmth and builds trust instantly. It's a powerful tool for social bonding.
Okay, so open body, genuine smile. Got it. What's the third nonverbal hack?
The eyes themselves, eye contact. This can be tricky. Too much feels aggressive, too little feels untrusting or insecure.
Yeah, you don't want the creepy stare. A good rule of thumb I've heard is the 80-20 rule. Aim to hold eye contact for about 80% of the time when the other person is speaking to show you're listening. Then, when you're speaking, you can drop it to around 20%, glancing away as you gather your thoughts. It feels more natural than a constant stare down.
That's a great practical guide, and the science behind why it works is amazing. Studies have shown that when we hold a mutual, friendly gaze with someone, our brains release oxytocin.
Oxytocin, that's the love hormone, right?
It is. It's often called the bonding hormone. It's the same chemical that helps mothers bond with their babies. It creates feelings of trust, empathy, and connection. So when you hold eye contact in a warm, respectful way, you're literally using brain chemistry to build a bridge between you and the other person.
So, what you're saying is, with the right body language, smile, and eye contact, I can basically become a walking oxytocin dispenser.
In a manner of speaking, yes. You're creating a safe, warm, and trustworthy space for others, and that is incredibly attractive. Okay, so our nonverbal signals are on point. Now we have to actually talk to people. This brings us to chapter 2, the conversation game.
All right, my number one rule for conversation is simple: be more interested than interesting.
I feel like this relates back to your bad date story.
You know it. So, let me paint the full picture. We sit down, order drinks, and he launches into this monologue about his marathon training for 45 minutes, Sonny. He talked about his personal best time, his carb loading strategy, the exact brand of running shoes he preferred, his struggles with shin splints. He never once paused to ask me anything about myself.
That is painful. So he was trying so hard to be interesting, to impress you with his accomplishments.
Exactly, but all he communicated was that he was completely self absorbed. He made me feel invisible. The most attractive people do the opposite. They make you feel like you are the most fascinating person in the room. They ask questions, they listen, they are genuinely curious about you.
This taps into a really cool psychological principle called the Ben Franklin effect. The story goes that Ben Franklin wanted to win over a rival, so he asked to borrow a rare book from his library. The man said yes. Afterwards, that rival became much friendlier to him.
Wait, so asking for a favor made the guy like him more? That seems backward.
It seems backward, but our brains justify our actions. The rival thought, why did I do a favor for Franklin? I must like him. It works the same way in conversation. When you ask someone to share their story, to tell you about their life, you're asking them for a small favor. When they share, their subconscious mind thinks, I am opening up to this person. I must trust and like them. You become more attractive to them because of how they acted around you.
My mind is a little blown right now. So, by being interested, you actually make yourself more interesting in their eyes.
Precisely. Now, here's another simple conversational habit. Use people's names.
This sounds so basic, but it really works. When the barista at the coffee shop remembers my name, it makes my morning.
It does. There's a reason for that. It relates to a phenomenon called the cocktail party effect. You can be in a loud, crowded room, but if someone says your name, you'll instantly hear it.
Yeah, it's like my brain is specially tuned for that one word.
It is. Brain scans show that hearing our own name activates unique parts of our brain, like the middle frontal cortex. It's a sound that says, "This is relevant to you." In a conversation, using someone's name sparingly, like, "That's a great idea, Sarah," or "Alex, what do you think?" cuts through the noise. It makes people feel seen, recognized, and important.
It's a mark of respect. It shows you're not just having a generic conversation, you're talking to them.
Exactly. And that brings us to the final habit in this chapter: passion. When you're being interested in others, you'll eventually find what they are truly passionate about. And that's where the magic happens.
It's the best. You ask someone a casual question about their hobby, and suddenly their whole face lights up. Their speech gets faster, their eyes get brighter.
Yes, that's what the psychologist Mihai Csikszentmihalyi called a flow state. It's that state of being completely absorbed and energized by an activity. When someone talks about their passion, they're in a mini flow state. We, as the listener, get to witness their authentic joy. It's not about what they love, it's that they love it. That passion is a pure, unfiltered signal of a rich inner life, and that is incredibly attractive.
And that joy is contagious. It doesn't matter if they're talking about astronomy or baking or fantasy football. Their genuine enthusiasm is what's so incredibly attractive.
That's a great point. It's about letting your true self shine through. So, we've covered the initial signals and the basics of conversation. What if we go a level deeper? Let's talk about building a real, memorable connection. It really is. So, let's quickly recap. Be interested, not interesting. Use people's names and find and encourage their passion. It really is. So let's quickly recap. Be interested, not interesting. Use people's names and find and encourage their passion. Okay, so we've mastered the initial impression and the art of a great conversation. But what about taking it to the next level? How do we go from a pleasant chat to a real, memorable connection? This brings us to our next chapter, the deeper connection.
This is a crucial point. It's not just about being pleasant, it's about being real. One of the most powerful ways to build a deeper connection is through storytelling. Not telling jokes, but sharing small personal anecdotes.
That's so true. When someone tells you a short, specific story, like, "Oh, that reminds me of the time I tried to bake bread and ended up with a brick," it does two things. It makes them more relatable and it gives you a little window into their world.
Exactly. It's not a story about your greatest achievement, it's a moment of shared humanity. It says, "I'm not perfect," which gives the other person permission to be imperfect too. Like telling someone about the time I confidently tried to assemble an IKEA bookshelf and ended up with something that looked more like a modern art sculpture.
We've covered a lot of ground, from body language to conversation. It can feel like a lot to remember.
Right. You don't want to enter a conversation with a mental checklist. Okay, torso, check. Eye contact, check. Say their name, check. That would feel robotic.
Completely. So, for our third and final chapter on habits, let's simplify. Let's talk about one habit you can start today. Just one thing to focus on. Alex, if you had to pick one for our Sunnies to try this week, what would it be?
For me, it has to be the torso rule. It's the easiest because it's purely physical. You don't need to think of clever things to say. Just in your next interaction, at the grocery store, at work, consciously point your torso at the person you're talking to. That's it. Just notice how it changes the dynamic. It's a simple, powerful first step.
I love that choice. Mine would be to focus on being interested. In your next conversation, give yourself a secret mission to discover 3 interesting things about the other person. That's all. It takes the pressure off you to perform and puts your focus where it belongs, on them.
Both are great starting points, and the key here is consistency over perfection. Don't worry about getting it right every time. The goal is to be small but consistent.
Exactly. Show up as you are and just try to be 1% more open or 1% more curious. Over time, these small actions build on each other and become a natural part of who you are. Okay, I am loving this conversation. Before we move to our closing thoughts, it's time for one of our favorite segments, Key Expressions. This is where we break down some of the useful, natural English phrases we used in today's episode.
Let's do it. I've got my notebook ready.
Excellent. Our first expression is to have a magnetic personality. When we say someone has a magnetic personality, we mean they are very charming and attractive in a way that naturally draws people to them. It's like they have a special gravity.
Right. So you could use it in a few ways. At work, you might say, our new team leader has such a magnetic personality. Everyone feels motivated and excited to work with her.
Perfect.
Or socially, talking about a friend. It's amazing to watch Tom at a party. He has a magnetic personality and can make friends with anyone. Or even romantically. What I first noticed about my partner was their magnetic personality. I was drawn to them immediately.
Great examples. It really captures that effortless charm. Okay, our second phrase is it boils down to. This is a fantastic idiom for summarizing a complex idea. It means the most essential point is, or the fundamental part is.
Yes, very useful. So, for instance, after a long meeting, you could say, we discussed a lot of beta, but it boils down to this. We need to increase our marketing budget. It simplifies everything.
Exactly.
Or giving advice to a friend. I know dating can feel complicated, but it all boils down to finding someone you can laugh with. Or even in our episode today, we could say, all these habits are great, but it boils down to making other people feel valued.
That's the perfect summary. Okay, last one. To wear your heart on your sleeve. This lovely idiom means to show your emotions openly and honestly, not to hide them.
This one describes a type of person. For example, my brother is not a mysterious guy. He wears his heart on his sleeve so you always know exactly how he's feeling.
Right. Let's do a quick role play. Hey, Alex, how's your friend Jane doing? I heard she had a job interview.
She was so nervous before, but she's thrilled now. She thinks it went really well. Jane always wears her heart on her sleeve, so when she came home smiling from ear to ear, we knew it was good news.
See? Perfect. It describes her emotional transparency. We hope those expressions are useful for you, Sunnies. Try to use one of them this week. So, as we bring our conversation to a close, I want to leave you all with a final and perhaps the most important thought. After all this talk of habits and techniques, it can be easy to think that you need to change, that you need to become someone else to be liked or admired.
That's a dangerous trap to fall into.
It is. Please hear this. You don't. You don't need to be louder or funnier or more like that person at the party. True, sustainable attractiveness, the kind that builds real connections, grows from a place of calm self-trust. It's about getting comfortable enough with yourself that you can stop worrying about your own performance and turn your full, warm attention outward to someone else.
That's really it, isn't it? All these habits, the open posture, the real smile, the curiosity, they're not about putting on a mask. They're about taking off the armor that keeps people from seeing the wonderful person who's already there.
That is so beautifully put, Alex. It's about sharing your own unique light, not trying to borrow someone else's. Focus on making other people feel good, and you will become one of the most attractive people in any room you enter.
Be interested, be kind, and be unapologetically you. Everything else will follow.
Thank you for spending this time with us today, Sunnies. This was Sunny English Bite. See you next time.